विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियां, आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियां, एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज.
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Anuradha Kunte, Yeralawani Community Radio, Sangli, Maharashtra.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज, की आवाज.
Hello everybody, you are listening to STEM Popularization Podcast. Soybean is a oil and protein rich crop. Nowadays, it's coming up as industrial crop too. It is the largest single source of edible oil. In our country, especially Maharashtra and Karnataka are states where soybean grown well. Today, we are listening to Dr. Santosh Jaybhay on improved variety of soybean. Dr. Santosh Jaybhay is graduated from Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith, Rahuri, and he completed his post-graduation from Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh Krishi Vidyapith, Akola. He joined as a scientist in Agarkar Research Institute, Pune since 2011. His focal area is Soybean Improvement Project. This project is sponsored by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi. He is working on the improved varieties of soybean for high yield result and disease resistant. So let's welcome Dr. Santosh Jaybhay to explain his research in depth.
We are working for the masses of our country who feed to the nation. So that is our aim. So to meet the food requirements of our country, we would like to develop the climate resilient soybean varieties. And also we would like to work on the soybean varieties which can be directly consumed by the human being. We are working on the soybean development for the development of the high yielding varieties with the different rate which are suitable to the soil and climate as well as per the human being requirement. Now we aim at the supply of the soybean breeder seed of the high yielding varieties which we are developing since from the 1968. Presently we are producing the soybean breeder seed of the 5 leading varieties, that is MSCS 1188, MSCS 1281, MSCS 1460, MSCS 1407 and MSCS 1520. These varieties are beneficial to the seed multiplying agencies and the farmers of our country. And we are also transferring the technology for the farmers on the production practices which we have been developing since from the last 52 years of the soybean research. We have clients through the seed production. We are producing the breeder seed along with the farmers, KVKs and some of the leading seed producing companies. We are supplying our breeder seed which is a first quality seed, first stage seed that we are producing with them, and we are supplying that seed to the seed multiplying agencies like National Seed Corporation, Mahavis, State Seed Corporations and farmer producer companies. And they are using that seed for the further multiplication. That is for foundation, fruitful and for certified seed production. And they are giving that seed to the farmers for actual growing in their farms. They are not with us for development of varieties, but they are having their own research activities for the development of their varieties. They are contributing that their varieties for the varietal development program of the ICAR under the All India Quality Research Program. They are working separately and we are working separately for the development of the varieties. But we are together at one point, that is the seed production. And for the distribution of the seed developed by the research institutes and by them, we are in the one way for supplying that seed or distribution of that seed to the farmers. Presently, we are not exporting our varieties outside India because we are lacking the oil production. We are already importing the oil because our production and our varieties in the whatever we are producing or whatever the seed produced by the farmers of our countries, that has been used up for the oil production and byproduct production in our country, or like for oil production and for deoil cake production and for the poultry and cattle feed production. Soybean is a oilseed legume crop. It contains 40% protein and 18 to 20% oil in itself. And soybean has a many more uses for the human being consumption. Like from soybean, we can prepare soya milk, soya tofu, soya biscuits, soya nuggets, soya atta. Many more products have been invented from the soybean that have very rich nutritional value because of it contains 40% of the protein in itself. And our institute is working from 2017 for development of such varieties which can be useful for the direct human consumption in the form of these products. We have developed one variety, that is Konitz trypsin inhibitor free variety, which is already released and we are undertaking the seed production program of this variety. And again, one variety is now in the research, that is null lipoxygenase off-flavor generating free variety. That means we have consumed the soybean directly. It gives a unique flavor. It is not, it is unlike those. So after removing that lipoxygenase gene, it can be easily consumed. Means we can eat it as a pea, like pea. Direct consumption will be enhanced. Our research is contributing to science field in collaboration with the ICAR in the form of producing the new technologies and new recommendations in the crop production, developing the new varieties, and also publishing the various monographs, research publications, and popular articles and dissemination of the technologies. USA, Brazil, Argentina, and China are the leading soybean producing countries. Absolutely, USA, Brazil, China, Argentina, and some of the Asian countries are working on the soybean in the same areas because their climatic conditions are different. In USA, Brazil, and Argentina, the growing period of the soybean crop is 5 months to 6 months. In our Asian climate, our growing season is up to 3 months to 4 months. So we have to work on these agronomic areas and that breeding areas and in the plant pathology and entomology and other aspects of the crop product. Means as per climatic conditions, we have to work on the specific discipline in the specific agroclimatic zones. As per my study and as my knowledge, India is first in the 10 countries in the world for the soybean research. Because ICAR along with its Apex Research Institute on Soybean Research, that is Indian Institute of Soybean Research, Indore, and with its 32 coordinating research institutes all over the India is coordinating the soybean research our country. Now I would like to tell overall that along with the ICAR and from our institute, we would like to develop the soybean varieties which are resilient to the climate because climate is posing its impact on the productivity of soybean and our population is growing fastly.
You are listening to STEM Popularization Podcast. Dr. Santosh Jaybhay stated the improved soybean varieties and the importance of high-yield variety towards making our country self-sustainable in soybean cultivation. Let's know furthermore on the progress of the research to reach to the farmers and where India stands in producing soybean. What will be the future to cope up increasing population of our country? From Dr. Santosh sir.
I would like to say about overall about our institute. We have published about 42 research papers in the national and international journals since from my joining of this institute, and a few research book chapters and books and some monographs and technical booklets for the benefit of the farming society. And also we have delivered about 27 radio talks on all India radios for the benefit of the farming community, and we have YouTube videos for the benefit of the farmers, and we have giving and organizing the melavas for the farmers, and we have been disseminating the technology of our production to the farmers, to the various agricultural magazines and various agricultural newspapers. We reach our technology to the farmer in this way. we are so having a collaborations with the ITC Bhopal, and we are having collaborations with some of the agrochemical companies and seed production companies like Basant Agro, Ruchi, and EDM Agro from Latur and some parts of Maharashtra. In agriculture, we do not file patent for varieties. We have one Apex Institute at ICAR level, that is protection of the farmers' varieties and farmers' rights, PPA and FRA. Through that, we have registered 3 soybean varieties for activity. Our research area, we are focusing on the improvement of the soybean. Our aim is the development of the soybean varieties, which are suitable for the various agroclimatic conditions of our country. We aim at the supply of the breeder seed of these varieties to the seed multiplying agencies in the country, and also along with this we are transferring the improved production technology of the soybean to the farmers of our country. In our country, about 0.5 million farmers are cultivating the soybean every year, and they are growing it on the 11.73 million hectares of the land, which produces the 11.5 million ton of the soybean. So it is absolutely useful for our country to make self-sufficient in the oil production, because soybean crop is the 4th most important oilseed crop of our country, and it reduces the dependency of our country for the edible oil. So this crop is saving import of saving the foreign money which is we are spending on the import of oil. On this crop we are working from the 1968, means our institute is working from 1968. This is the past. Initially, our institute has started to collect the soybean germplasm from abroad also and from the India also. So, our senior colleagues have worked on the evaluation of that varieties and suitability of that varieties for the agroclimatic conditions of the southern part of our country. So, later on work has been taken on to develop the high yielding varieties which contain the high oil content, and also along with that work has been taken on the development of the soybean varieties which are disease resistant and non-pod shattering. Initially what was happening, some of the varieties having a pod shattering habit. So that makes a problem during the harvesting of the soybean. That's why our earlier senior colleagues have focused on that trait. We should develop the non-pod shattering varieties so that the loss during the harvesting, we can say it as a stubble losses. We should minimize the stubble losses. That's why our colleagues have focused on the development of such a type of the non-pod shattering varieties. Then after that, means 1983 onwards, the main aim has been changed or focused on the development of the high yielding varieties, means mid-late mature varieties and early maturing varieties. During 1983, our institute has developed one variety, that is MSCS 124, that has contributed to the green revolution of the country, and that variety has been awarded as a landmark variety of India by the Indian Society of the Genetics and Plant Breeding. After 1991 onward, the aim of the objectives of the research were the same, but we tried to import and collect another few genotypes and germplasms from outside and from India itself, and have been used for the development of new varieties. From 2001 onwards, we have developed 4-5 varieties, and that have been leading in the seed chain, and we have been contributing to the 8 to 10% of the area of the Maharashtra. Our varieties have been contributing to 8 to 10% of the area of the Maharashtra. As agriculture science, we can see it as our research in terms of the recommendations, especially the recommendation on the planting distances, planting geometries and sowing dates, and in terms of the recommended doses of the fertilizers, and in terms of the plant physiologies, will help to the farmers to understand to produce the more from the crops and to the society. And in future, we would like to develop the soybean varieties which are climate resilient and which can be suitable for the direct consumption by the human being. I am thankful to the DST for organizing such a event.
Thank you, Dr. Santosh. Thank you very much on behalf of listeners of STEM Popularization Podcast.
आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियां। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियां। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Anuradha Kunte, Yeralawani Community Radio, Sangli, Maharashtra.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज